So my next piece of advice today is for those of you who may have just finished off with competing in a show, or it may be for those of you who are about to finish off with an upcoming show and you want to kind of get your game plan together, what you can do after the curtains come down. One of the biggest concerns for a lot of competitors post-show, of course, is rebounding. And rebounding it's a natural part of the cycle of what we do, and it doesn't have to be something that's like astronomical. I mean, even if you got off, let's say you competed on stage at 135 pounds and then the week later you see yourself at about 145 pounds, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal, because you have to think that when you are on stage and you are truly in the conditioning you need to be in, and you're truly as dry as you need to be on a bodybuilding stage, your body is very depleted. It's not a healthy state to be in. It's not at all something that's sustained for more than a few hours, maybe a day or two. So seeing your weight jump up post-show is a very normal thing, and I just want to get that across to all of you guys. I think sometimes we as competitors place a lot of emphasis on the scale number, and you got to kind of look at what's going on in the mirror to really truly free yourself of the mind taffy. But do know that seeing your weight jump up a little bit post-contest is normal. Now, if you jump up 40, 50 pounds, 30, 40, 50 pounds, then there's a little bit of a problem. We're not talking about that, but we want to learn how to kind of avoid that, and that's where this conversation will take us today. So one of the things I advise you to do when you are in the midst of your contest prep, especially in the last weeks going into your prep, maybe let's say the last week or two, it's really going to be important for you to figure out some kind of an exit strategy. You cannot go from dieting for weeks and months on end and then jump into normal eating right away. I mean, your metabolism is slower. No matter how healthy you diet or how well you do it, physiologically, you've been dieting, so your metabolism will be slower. Your body is in a much more sensitive place, especially if you've played with carbohydrates, if you played with sodium, if you brought a diuretic into the equation. And for some people, if you've been on any kind of an anti-estrogen and stuff like that, all of those things are going to affect how your body reacts post-contest. So the more variables you play with, the more chance you have of having a bigger rebound. So keep that in mind. So it's really going to be important for you to have some kind of an exit strategy already in place by the time you hit your peak week. So that way, if the show is on Saturday and finals are done by then, Sunday, you already know what you're going to be doing as far as your eating is concerned by Sunday, Monday, and the days following your show. Now, if you have cut sodium in your diet, and let's say you played around with water, just think about the fact that you're going to want to be extra careful. Okay, especially with the sodium, because a lot of you will be eating out. Everybody, not a lot of you, everybody eats out after your show. Everybody eats out after your show. So, if you're going in for foods that are a lot higher in sodium, lots of carbs, lots of fats and stuff in there, you look great for about a day or so after your show. But if you continue that for a number of other days afterwards, you're going to have a really huge rebound. What I typically like to tell people in the days after their show is to sort of reverse the things that you've been doing. So if you, let's say, cut water, and you were one of those ones who was spending days upon days without drinking water, and by the way, that's not a smart thing to do at all, but anyway, I digress. That's another conversation. You're going to want to definitely probably start to reverse your water intake. I would say don't go crazy trying to guzzle down 2 gallons the night of your show. Maybe if you were just sipping throughout your day, you can try to get in like a half gallon or so in the hours after your finals are over. By Sunday, you can try to push it up to about 3/4 gallon. By Monday, get yourself back up to a gallon. So really just introduce everything slowly back into the equation. If you've played around with sodium, you just have to watch and gauge your body and how it's reacting. And the reintroduction of sodium with the absence of water is going to definitely make you hold more water. So in that case, you might actually want to try to up your water intake a little bit more, especially if you see that you are starting to get that uncomfortable edema. So increase your water a little bit. If you've cut sodium, you may be able to play a little bit higher with that, just to kind of find that homeostasis with your body again. If you've taken any kind of a diuretic, especially those that have taken any kind of a prescription diuretic. You are definitely going to want to reverse the amount that you're taking. And I'm talking something more simple when talking about like people take Diazide and stuff like that. Not if you're taking anything crazy like Lasix. I don't even know what to do with that, so don't ask me. But like if you're taking any kind of a diuretic, even with the herbal stuff, try to reverse your, just try to ease off of it. Not really reverse your intake, but just try to ease off of it. So you want to reduce it even in the days after your show to avoid a big rebound. Again, the more things you play with, the more you're going to have to really watch your body, and the more you're going to have to really just pay attention to what you're reintroducing back in as you find normalcy. In the day after your show, or let's go back. The night of your show, your body is in a state where you can eat a little bit more and it's depleted, so it's going to try to replenish and restore muscle glycogen, a little bit of intramuscular fat. It's going to try to shuttle water into those dehydrated muscle bellies and everything, so you have a little bit more freedom to really enjoy what you want. But don't go overboard. Like you see these competitors going on these all-out binges post-show. That's probably one of the worst things that you can do, and you will wake up with cankles in the morning. Trust me, and cankles do not feel good, okay? I've been there, done that. So even in that moment post-show, yes, you can eat what you like, but the more you get yourself out of control, the greater you're gonna have that dreaded rebound, and the more problems you're gonna have in the weeks after your show trying to get all of that water off and trying to find normalcy again. So just be smart. With most of my competitors, or pretty much with all of my competitors, I always let them eat whatever they want for the first day after the show. And then the night of the show. Then let's say the Sunday after their show, I always say to get loosely back on plan. So in the mornings, you can have a little bit of egg whites and your oats or whatever it is the client has on plan. They can follow loosely, have, the second or third meal for the day. And if they feel like going out for another meal, for a cheat meal, or as we call it in my practice, free meals, then they can go off and do that guilt-free, eating whatever they want. Then by Monday, we try to get back on plan again. And if there isn't a show that's coming up in the next week or so, week or two, then I will allow another cheat meal during the week or on the weekend for whenever the client chooses. So I think that for most people, getting back on plan by the Monday or Tuesday or so after the show is going to be the most important thing in controlling that water rebound. And at some point, you're not going to be dealing with any water. You're going to be dealing with body fat coming back on if your eating is not under control. So getting yourself into that mindset of, okay, I get to eat on Saturday, Sunday I take a little bit of a break, I have my diet loosely, I eat another free meal, and then Monday, boom, I'm back in the saddle again. It's going to be very important if, again, keeping your body from looking like a beluga whale is important as well. Now, when it comes to actually reverse dieting out of the show, it's a pretty simple process. If you factored in however many calories you're eating, let's say in the last week or two of your show going into your peak, just slowly add calories back into the equation, okay? So let's say you were eating about 1,600 calories or so for the last week of your show. Pretty much every day, everything was around 1,600 calories. Just throwing numbers out there. In the next week afterwards, why don't you go ahead and up things to about 1,700, see how your body is doing. For your workouts, if you're not going to be swinging into another show, you can try to do a sort of deload. So if you were training 6-7 days a week, take it down to about 5 days a week, hitting maybe one body part per day, or doing like a full body type of program of your choice. Taking your cardio volume down. So let's say if you were doing an hour of cardio a day or so, taking it down to maybe 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so during those 5 days a week would be a better alternative than just stopping right away. Then see how your body does. In another week, you can go ahead and up your calories by about another 50 to 100 calories or so. See how the body reacts. Remember, you are reverse dieting. So just like when you are dieting for fat loss, how you take things away incrementally and you listen to your body and you see how it reacts and you make your choices from there, you got to do the same thing when it comes to reverse dieting. So move slowly. Don't try to add in 500 calories right away, because again, your metabolism is a little bit slower, so it needs to catch up. But if you move at a pace like that, you'll have more success as far as controlling fat gain in the time post contest. And I would say that you can kind of do this incremental caloric raise for about a period of about 4 weeks or so. Once again, playing around with anywhere between 50 to 100, 150 to maybe even for some of you 200 calories per week coming up over that 4-week period. It'll put you in a point where once you're at the end of the 4 weeks, you'll kind of be closer to maintenance, and you'll do it at a level that's a little bit slower and more controlled, again, to control that fat gain. And that sets you up to be able to make whatever choices you want to make as far as whether you want to go into a nice lean build in your off season. You're kind of already there with the calories a lot more stable. If you want to just maintain where you are and keep calories right there and just train as you normally would, great, you have that option. And if you wanted to go into another fat loss phase, you can kind of set yourself up to do that, but this time do it starting at a little bit of a higher caloric level than starting where you were when you were closer to your peak, you know? So it's all about doing things intelligently and listening to your body and really playing with variables in an intelligent way. And if you continue to do that and you continue to play the game smart, you'll be able to reach any levels or any heights that, you know, your mind can imagine when it comes to your physique and how it looks. Well, I hope this was informative for you guys. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to come on over to my Facebook. The link is right here. So go ahead and check me out on Facebook. Ask me any questions that you may need. If you are looking for coaching services, I am currently taking on new clients, so please come on to my website, rockstarfitness.com. The link is right here. And fill out the form, and we'll go ahead and set up a consultation for us to kind of talk about what your goals are and what it is you're looking to do. I do ask that only serious inquiries contact me at this time because we're very busy, and I want to make sure to get in the people that are actually ready to start up and do something great. So in any case, I hope this video was informative for you guys, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.